In order to use the payroll system, certain key information must be saved first. It is very important to save these key details accurately as wrong information may lead to penalties and disputes. Let's go to the admin page. Click Details. Firstly, the clinic's details as the employer must be saved. Do not process payroll before entering these details. Click Add/Edit Clinic Details. The clinic's employer, EPF, KWSP, SOXO, PERXO, and IRB, LHDN, codes must be entered here respectively. The person handling the payroll and the contact number must be specified under HR Administrator. This is required for the generation of EA form. Second, make sure the statutory deductions are up to date. Click Add/Edit Deductions. Click A to list all the saved statutory deductions. These are the statutory deductions saved. Let's select EPF. These are the applicable deductions for EPF, applied to all employees unless individual settings are saved. So in this example, 7% is deducted from employees' wages and 13% is paid by the employer. The individual setting for EPF is done via Add/Edit Employee. Individual setting for EPF is specified under EPF Group. When this is specified, EPF deductions are made according to this setting and not according to Add/Edit Deduction settings. Individual settings for SOXO and ICE also work similarly, where unless specified individually, the deductions will follow settings in Add/Edit Deductions. Ticking this will base the statutory deductions on wages after deducting unpaid leaves amount. The definition of wages is specified here. Definition of wages may differ for some statutory deductions. For example, for EPF, overtimes are not included. But for ICE, overtime is included. Please refer to the latest rules and regulations as provided by the statutory bodies. Note that SOXO/PERXO is not included in this list, however the deductions are still done in the payroll. CP38, ICE, EPF and PCB settings are locked to prevent accidental change. Third, the public holidays recognized by the employer and overtime rates must be specified under Rates and Holidays. The public holidays recognized by the employer must be saved at the beginning of every year. These are the rates for overtime calculations. And here the special shift is defined, and the allowance amount if working in this special period. If include as dict, overtime work in the special shift will qualify for this allowance. Otherwise only normal work, non-overtime, will qualify for this allowance. Fourth, all employees' details must be saved under Add/Edit Employee. Under User ID, all users will be listed. Users are not employees until their details are added here under Add/Edit Employee. Users with asterisks, at the end are users without employee details saved. The employee's full name as in NRIC/passport is mandatory. The employee's NRIC/passport number is mandatory. The employee's date of birth is mandatory. Either date employed or contract start date must be specified. Job grade must be specified for automated leaves allocation. The employee's EPF/KWSP, SOXO/PERXO and IRB/LHDN codes are mandatory. IRB code must be specified for the calculation of PCB/MTD. If EPF group, SOXO group and ICE group are specified here, the deductions will follow the settings here for this employee and not as in Add/Edit Deductions. Payment mode is the employee's preferred salary payment mode. Starting basic salary, is mandatory. When the basic salary is revised, e.g. for increments, do not edit the basic salary here. Instead, add the increment via employee progress. Starting allowances are mandatory. When the allowances are revised, e.g. for increments, do not edit the allowances here. Instead, add the allowances increment via employee progress. Each allowance, AJ, are meant for various allowance types. Hover the mouse on the alphabets to see the designations. Any changes made must be saved by clicking Edit, or Add for new employee. An activate login upon delete is only applicable if this employee details are being deleted by clicking del. For documentation purposes, employee details should only be deleted after the records have been archived offline. For employees that join in the middle of the year, the previous employment details, wages and taxes must be saved here, for the purpose of PCB/MTD calculations. Otherwise the PCB/MTD amounts calculated will be wrong. To proceed to the payroll processing, click Enter Wages. Note that before proceeding, ensure 1. Incentives have been acknowledged by the employees and 2. The overtime claims for the previous month is up to date. Specify the date this payroll is being processed. Select the salary month here. Select the employee from this list. When the employee is selected, the wages components will be automatically filled. Except for bonus and others, avoid manually filling up these figures. The statutory deductions will also be automatically filled. For contract employees, if the contract is expiring soon, an alert will be shown here. If the employee has not completed the month, for example joined work in the middle of the month or resigned before end of the month, the number of non-working days will be indicated here. To see the number of the non-working days, click the word salary. This employee is employed on the 4th of February 2020, so 1 February 3, 2020 are considered as 3 non-working days. The salary for this employee will be for 4 February 29, 2020 and not the full month's salary. The allowance figure here is the total of allowances AJ above, automatically calculated and filled up here. These allowances are automatically filled according to the employee details and employee progress recorded. Although these allowances can be manually entered/changed here, avoid such practice as there will not be proper records for the justifications. The incentive figure here is the total of incentives AJ above, automatically calculated and filled up here. In this example, incentives AD have been automatically filled up according to the acknowledged incentives under the doctor's incentives, or staff's incentives, in the reports page. Although these incentives can be manually entered/changed here, avoid such practice as there will not be proper records for the justifications. In the doctor's incentives, or staff's incentives, page, the acknowledged incentives by the employees will be listed here. For Incentive 3, the incentives are paid over a period of 3 months, or more depending on clinic settings, so there can be multiple acknowledgements here. Refer Incentives, Type A. The incentives are acknowledged by the employees by clicking the Show Amount button. This button will only be available for 3 months before the current month. For example, in July, only April to June incentives can be acknowledged. Back to payroll. Overtime, OT, claims will be automatically filled up based on the OT applications and approval. Note that OTs are only paid on subsequent month, e.g. OT for July will be paid in August salaries, refer overtimes. For OTs as well, do not enter your own or alter the amounts auto-calculated. Following the auto-calculated amounts will provide proper documentation on the calculation methods and values. Bonus should be used only for annual bonus, as this will affect SOXO and ICE calculations. The bonus amount must be specified manually here. Any other remunerations can be entered manually under Others. Whenever possible, any rewards or awards should be paid via employee progress. The statutory deductions will be automatically filled, and automatically updated whenever there is any change. These figures cannot be manually entered unless manual override is done. Click on the deductions header to show the details. The components in gold boxes are those included as wages for this deduction, according to the settings in Add/Edit Deductions. The components can be included/excluded by clicking on them. However, this is strongly discouraged. Excluded component will be in gray box. By default, only unpaid leaves are deducted from the wages. To override the automatic calculation and to enter the deduction amounts manually, click M till it becomes red. Deductions that have been manually overridden will be in yellow fonts. To enable back the automatic calculations, click M again. The details box can be closed by clicking the deductions header again. The PCB deductions amount depends on the correct IRB code specified for this employee, and also the information of past employment if not employed from the current year January. Unpaid leaves must be applied and approved via leaves, and will be deducted automatically from the salary. The use of manual deduction with unpaid leaves here is strongly discouraged. For employees that have taken employee loan, via staff loans, the installments are automatically filled up here. If there is employee loan, the details of the installment will be filled up. In this example, RM600 loan has been taken, and balance is RM600. This is the first installment of RM100 out of 6 installments. The loan balance will be automatically updated. These fields are for any other deductions. Do not deduct statutory deductions here. Specify the deduction here clearly, as this will be printed on the payslips. And specify the deduction amount here. The total deductions amount will be shown here. The gross and net salary amounts are shown here. Notes can be entered here and will be displayed on the payslips. Select how this salary will be paid here. Salaries are usually transferred from bank in batches. If the salaries are paid in more than one batch, specify the batch here accordingly. For confidentiality, the accounts module will only show the lump sum of this batch and not individual salaries. In expenses, when the payroll is saved, the salaries are saved as payables. When the salaries are actually transferred/paid, they must be marked as paid. Here the salaries will be listed in batches and need to be marked paid. When the batch is selected, these details will be automatically filled up. Back to payroll, some of the employees' details will be shown here. The employee's attendance summary and work hours can be viewed by clicking Load Summary. These are the attendance summary as recorded by the punch system. The total work hours by roster and time clocked in/out are summarized here. The breakdown and details of the salaries can be viewed by clicking the word Salary, Allowances, Incentives, Bonus or Others. Special shift allowances that were included will be listed. The incentives that were added will be listed. The overtimes, that were included will be listed. PCB details that were used in the calculation will be listed. Click Salary again to close this box. Click Add to save this salary details. Saved salary details will be listed like this. The summary of the salaries and statutory deductions will be shown here at the bottom. To view back the salary details, click Select. The salary box will be expanded to show all the details. If any changes are made, click Edit to save the changes. To delete, click Delete. Clicking Select again will collapse this details box. Salaries that have been posted cannot be edited or deleted. When the salaries are marked paid under expenses, they will be considered posted. Payslips can only be viewed and downloaded by the employees once the payslips are released. To release payslips, Click Release Payslips. Summary of the payroll can be generated as well. Specify the period and click Summary. The table with this blue header tabulates the salaries. The table with this gold header tabulates the deductions. The table with this green header tabulates the employer's portions of the statutory payments. For supported banks, the salaries data files can be generated here. When this file is uploaded into the bank's portal, the salaries will be transferred from the bank. This saves time as there is no need to pay/transfer the salaries one by one. For statutory payments, data files generated here can be uploaded into the bank's portal for payments. This also saves time as there is no need to enter the payment details separately, e.g. entering KWSP/LHDN details in their websites. To generate the data files, tick Send to File for the employees to be included in the data file. Specify the salary credit date and click Create File. The data file for the selected employees will be listed here. This data file can be downloaded by right-clicking and saving the file. Clicking this will show the details in the data file. Creating data files for the statutory payments work the same way too. Select the employees' salaries by ticking Send to File, specify the credit date and click Create File. The data file can be downloaded by right-clicking and saving the file. To see the details in the data file, click this. The data file contents will be shown. Click here again to close the content box. That's it, you're done.